same shit. It's boring, a lame excuse. I've gotten used to it. Good morning, it's afternoon. You're doing the same shit. It's boring, a lame excuse. I've gotten used to it. Why can't I just pay attention? The way you act to barely care. I'm so goddamn tired all the time, yo, and I'm not even awake. I'm sleeping in too late. Past the morning every day. Oh hey, it's me again. I'm doing the same shit. Why can't I just do what I say I want to? Do what I tell myself that I want. Why can't I just pay attention? Why can't I just flip that switch? Why can't I just change direction? Why can't I get over this? I'm so goddamn tired all the time, yo, and I'm not even awake. I'm sleeping in too late. Past the morning every day. So goddamn tired all the time, and I'm not even awake. I'm sleeping in past 8 in the evening. I say the lines, the syllables, got it memorized so I can make you stop. You treat me like a criminal, so why shouldn't I treat you like you're a cop? How does it feel when you see me? When you close your eyes, how does it feel that I am free while you are stuck there wishing I would just listen to all your insistence, that all my resistance is pointless. Cause you spend your time in a prison, but that's not what I want. No.
That's right. I got my camera set up. I don't think this is gonna be the angle that I use. It is an angle that I chose. I definitely could have used a tripod, but I'm doing a low angle because I don't really have the desk space for a tripod without it blocking the screens or being in a weird position. Um, so yeah, this is a low angle. I don't know. I think it looks fine for the most part. And I probably need to figure out because there is a logo at the bottom right. So I probably need to figure out a different either if I have to buy something to get that logo out, because I'm using my phone as a camera, as a proxy, as a web camera, which does require a little bit of setup. Some of that is getting apps across devices. But if there's another app that I don't know about in my 5 minutes of research that does not just have a logo sitting on it somewhere on the screen, that'd be nice. And it'd be a bit better when I switch to this screen and the logo a lot smaller. I don't even know if this camera position is best for this specific rhythm game. Rhythm game layouts are quite interesting in terms of where the notes are coming from in the lanes, so it's kind of important that I don't block as much information. But I think in this position I'm only blocking out the score, which you can kind of surmise from looking at the combo count anyways. Regardless, probably gonna have to figure out the camera situation, but it is working. This app is working better. The watermark is there, and I did fuss about some of my audio settings. I did look at the VOD before, so hopefully it's kind of deceptive on my end when I'm looking at OBS how loud the audio is, especially my own mic. So hopefully it is fine. I'm gonna do a lot of going back to the VODs to look at things again, just to make sure the audio levels are okay. It's having my audio be filtered through OBS a lot different than recording on Audacity, which is a lot simpler, a lot cleaner, and it's much easier to manage the audio there and get live feedback, and I can re-record. Can't really do that on a stream. But anyways, things are looking good. I'm probably going to lower the delay. There is like a 5 to 7 second delay, which is very annoying, honestly. But there is another setting that I can use for even lower delay, which I'm probably going to use because we're going to be reacting. And if we're reacting 5 to 7 seconds, it's very annoying. But we're not reacting right now, so settings as fine as it gets. I'm gonna review the audio. Happy I got the camera and I get to use my layout, my border layout here, even if there is that really dumb in this corner. I do not know spatial awareness, spatial positioning. Right here, it's really dumb logo. That's a watermark, but it's understandable. I am using this. I just downloaded it for free, so I'll have to figure it out. And hopefully it's not that annoying, or just use a different software, and that's fine. I'm just using my phone. Yeah. All right. It's time to game finally. This time, some Unbeatable arcade mode specifically, which I would say is not even the main game mode. This is a narrative rhythm game first and foremost. And it is really good. I think the story is really good overall, and there is a lot of interesting things about it that I think can be very controversial. Not controversial in a wide sweeping way, but in terms of the people who have played it. But I think for what it is, I'll play the song. It's very, very nice. I can yap over it. For all the stuff about the story, it is still, I think, very full of soul, which, you know, I think just saying that doesn't say much to a lot of people. It's fine, but there's a lot of heart to it, and you can tell in every fiber of its being. That being said, it's a rhythm game, so you need an arcade mode. And it is even though there's 4 lanes here, it is not a 4-lane game. It is 2 lanes with alternating left and right, which is kind of an interesting way to have difficulty, because you're constantly thinking, which side am I going to be on, like that, and that can mess you up. And there's actual narrative reasons, or I guess narrative mechanically connected things that happen in the story about, you know, using both lanes of the rhythm game sections in the campaign, which is cool. So, you know, I appreciate that, because, you know, having a gimmick, because this could very much, this you know, this right now looks like Muse Dash, right? It's just 2 lanes, but the added extra lane adds a level of complexity to it, which is nice, and it matters in the story. There's some really cool story moments that really utilize the lanes, like the fact that there's more than 1 lane, really well, which is very unique. It's very cool. I really like it. So yeah, can't see the score, but I think, you know, everything else should be fine. That's pretty much, you know, you can see the main action, and it's all that matters. A lot of the songs in the arcade is from the main story. Some of it isn't, but there is a lot of it is from that, and there's a lot of collab songs like this one. I haven't played, you know, just like other rhythm games like Muse Dash, I just played my favorite songs over and over. So I haven't played all of these songs, which is funny. Even though you know, my game of the year is Unbeatable. And I haven't played most of the songs because I just like playing my songs. So it's gonna be a good learning opportunity. And some of these songs are from like important story moments, like, you know, spoiler songs, which is why it's kind of important. Like, the song is a really good song, which is why I don't know if I clicked on the right difficulty there. Hold on. Which is why, you know, I highly recommend playing. I did not click on the right difficulty. Which is why I recommend playing the story first, and then once you have the context, you know, hop into the arcade, or you can mix and match. Do the story, do a chapter. They're not that long. This game is relatively not that long. I'll do a chapter, play some songs in the arcade, unwind, think about what you just witnessed. It's surprisingly a short game. The demo, funnily enough, takes place in the halfway mark, and you know, the shortness is both a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes more of a bad thing. I just really wanted, there could be so much more. I think the story is really good, but it doesn't help that it is short. And a lot of these songs, you know, are my favorites because I've been listening to this since the demo was up. You know, big fan. Been following this project for a while. And it's great that it's out, even, you know, with all the growing pains or the release pains, especially on console. There's a lot of complaining on console, which I'm not saying the complaining is bad. Complaining if, you know, things aren't working and there's a lot of bugs, but you know, it'd be like that. They are also, I'm thinking, because I'm in the train background, that they are, you know, updating the arcade mode as well. It would be nice to not just be stuck in this train station. There's much more locations. There's, you know, a lot of narrative locations that would be cool to use as a background. So, as you can see, the 2-lane, 4-lane situation is actually legit. Very fun, kind of ping-ponging back, and kind of, even though it's all in the same lane, you still feel that sense of urgency, like, oh, which lane am I going to be at? Well, it's still on top, it's the same lane, but visually, you have to process, like, you know, that you're looking at a different side, the same side, but that like second of visual delay, those ghost notes mess me up. Second of visual delay is, you know, it's kind of tricky. Those ghost notes are messing me up. But you know, ignoring the fact that I've been missing those ghost notes, pretty good. I think an interesting thing for rhythm games in general is where you look. Like where people look. I think that's a very fascinating thing. Kind of like in fighting games. Are you looking at your own character or are you looking at your opponent's character? I look not at where the notes are coming into, but I'm looking at the middle of the screen where the notes have arrived or are arriving the screen. So I'm using my peripherals to anticipate when I need to press. I'm not really looking at where I need to press. So I have a wider field of vision. Also, you know, I feel like if you're looking at where you need to press, you just panic a lot because there's so much notes to press. It's like right here, I'm looking at, you know, if you look at where the top screen of the health bar is, slightly to the right. I think that's the best way to position your eyes when you're playing a rhythm game. You never really want to be looking directly at where the notes are going to enter, but where they're coming in. What is up, Noah? This is a great song. I might just be playing my top bangers. I don't know if I said I was gonna play new songs, but I don't know. There's just so much songs that I like that I might just play them instead. True. I am very rusty, but it's fine. I can handle it well. One thing that I think would be interesting if, I don't think it's in the settings, but this might be, I mean, it might be kind of, you know, for the weirdos, if you have, if there was an option you could put on subtitles, so you could sing along, so that's kind of extreme, to read the lyrics while they're trying to hit the notes. It would be kind of cool, actually. I don't know, I think about that. Wouldn't it be cool if they showed the lyrics and you can like sing along and like not pay attention? Like you're gonna fail the song, but at least you can get the karaoke. That's it. Like, you know, in this part where it's a little calmer, it might be cool to have the lyrics on screen, you know. Or in the easier difficulties, I can definitely see myself, you know, just want to hang out on a lower difficulty, just sing along, kind of, you know, a suggestion. It's not a good suggestion, but it's a suggestion. Like, a section like this, definitely see myself hitting some lyrics, or not that section, but you know. 1 second before that, where it was a little softer. For this, it'd be so cool to have integrated lyrics. And I feel like you could probably, you know, probably just mod that in. I completely lost my place because I was thinking about it. Yeah, you can find the lyrics. I was thinking about the lyrics the whole time. Yeah, like, The lyrics are on Bandcamp. All the songs' lyrics are on Bandcamp, so it's not like people don't know what they're saying. And you know, I think they could just mod it in. It would be I don't know. It'd be cool. All right, after lock in, for real. No thinking. Can't be thinking about bad features and bad ideas. And I say this as I'm going to suggest another bad idea, which is a lot of rhythm games have a timer that tells you when the song's going to end. I don't think there's an option in Unbeatable, so you don't know when the song's going to end. You have a health bar and you have your score, but that doesn't tell you the length of the song, which shouldn't matter, but I think it's a nice quality of life thing that a lot of rhythm games, sometimes they don't have, but you know, it's kind of nice because you can pace yourself. Like, you know, if you're getting tired from a song, you'll know, oh, the song's almost over. Or if there's a particularly hard part in the song, you'll know, okay, you know, is there going to be worse coming up? That's, I don't know. I've played games with timers where you're like, okay, you know how long the song is. The game tells you you're halfway mark because you see this bar draining. And it's the weird relief, but okay, I only have half the song left. I can do this. But it's also like a UI thing that like I don't think most people care about. But as an option, like I don't know, I would kill for lyrics for I love the song too. I would love to just karaoke along. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is how well designed some of these beat maps are. Sync up really well, especially in the harder difficulties. I think it's hard to judge the lower difficulties because you're hitting less notes, and so it's synced up less. In the harder difficulties, you're syncing up to much more instruments, right? So like they feel much more like you get into the flow state much faster. But that also requires you to play the higher difficulties. But I'm not saying the lower difficulties are badly mapped. Just I always find the higher difficulties to be like how you can really see how well mapped something is. Like sections like that where you're like going between sliders, it's like in tune, and these drum notes here where you're hitting both notes at the same time. Like it is very, very satisfying. And those spikes, like the places where you have to dodge as like a way to fill in the notes as well. Really cool. See, the thing is, I do know that song's going to end. I've listened to the song a lot. But you know, what if there was like something at, you know, on screen that's like, you did it. You're almost at the end. I know it's at the end because I love the song. I listen to it in my spare time. But you know, throwing no ideas. Not necessarily good ideas, but it is an idea. Yeah, I mean, you're busy. We're all busy. It is very fair. And I still have to, you know, do that. And then there's also the fish up the 100 stuff, so there's a lot. Yeah, it'd be very funny to have a fake timer mess you up, and then the song's about to end, the timer hits 0, and then it just second chorus. Yeah, I don't know how the logistics of how karaoke works for that stuff, or like how karaoke plays decides songs. But whip out your phone and just start singing it anyways. You'll look, ignore the looks that where they think you're crazy, and just start jamming out some unbeatable songs, regardless of if it makes sense. Yeah, they're adding set piece replay. I think I forget where on the roadmap, but it'd be great. And they are actively working on it. It'd be really awesome to have, because man, I could just be boot up just to play the set pieces. They're so good. Or even mini games. It'd be very fun to just have an arcade with the mini games, so I could infinitely play the jump rope, or you can do the floors lava with the cars. But I just kind of want to do jump ropes, or baseball would be fun. But there is no minigame replay, so you're just kind of stuck. I think I hit all of those. It's kind of surprising. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I almost dropped it. It's such a good song. Nice. Yeah, there, you could just rewatch that set and pretend you're playing, but it's not the same. Yeah, I played a little bit of the prison ball, and I realized this is they have said that they purposely made that prison ball section that way. There's no bugs. The prison ball section plays as intended, as bad as it is. But it would be funny to just sit there with minigame replays, just playing very bad pool. Very, very bad pool. Yeah, it is very bad. Also, you're leaving. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Get some unbeatable in your system. Peace. Have a good night.
Using proper rhythm, wiggle your fingers and jam the keys.
Of course. I didn't even play the song, but it is a very good song. Might as well get my reps in. I also realized looking at, I don't know how accurate it is, but on my OBS, my camera doesn't have delays, but on my YouTube system, it does show delays. It's very annoying. I don't know which one's more real. My OBS that showed my camera having no delays is the truth, or I trust the YouTube being a jig. Probably that. And it could just be my dumb app is not the best. Which, to be fair, I'm using my phone and it's connected through Wi-Fi. Maybe I should try just plugging my phone in so that there's no latency there. Oh, that is probably the answer. I just have to plug it in, which restricts. The reason why I don't want to plug it in is because it restricts where I can put my camera. But with where it is right now, it shouldn't matter. So maybe I have to plug it in. Oh, the problem is it's so annoying to plug in because my USB ports are all being used up by SSDs, external hard drives rather. So I have to unplug my externals, and then I can't access anything in them, which probably don't need to access them while live, but you know, it is a minor inconvenience, which is the worst kind of inconvenience because you don't think it's not a big deal, but you know, sometimes that's how it is. So yeah, I'll just plug it in, and maybe if I plug it in, I can get like a software that doesn't require a watermark. I don't really want to pay for a software just to make my phone a webcam. I feel like, you know, I feel like that shouldn't be a thing, but it is. Or I can put an image to hide the watermark, which is very, very funny. I could also just do that. I have the power of OBS. I can just cover that watermark. I'm talking myself into it. I'm gonna just do that because this is my third dumb camera app that I'm using, and I don't want to find more apps. That's just really annoying. Maybe it's just me and my bit rates. Maybe I need to raise my bit rate even more. I don't know. Because it looks fine. Okay, well, to be fair, the auto player on YouTube is also at the lowest quality, so maybe I'm just in my own head. I don't really want to set. Well, maybe I can set it to the highest quality. Let me just. Yeah, maybe I am overreacting and everything's okay. The delay, other than the delay, which is there. Very bad delay, but alright, I'm gonna be overreacting on that. But it is something that annoys me. I do want to make sure the stream experience, at least for the main day, is good. And it's also like the day where we're doing arguably less stuff. All we're doing is watching a stream and reacting. But you know, it's important. Because we're watching a stream, and I don't want to watch a stream with on a lower quality and make this watching experience bad. Move interface a little closer so I don't have to. I mean, not that I should be reading chat while playing, but you know, so that I had the possibility to. That's something I think about, but it's fine. I think it's understandable if I'm in the middle of a song that I don't read from chat, but you know, I never want to let a chat message just go. That was completely let go of that slider for no discernible reason other than for vibes. Section, you know, it just passed, but a section like that where like you don't even have to hit the ground, but there's spikes coming through. They look silly in retrospect, because like who's gonna get hit by that? Because like literally just a row of spikes, just, you know, stay airborne. But you know, it is funny. Sometimes all you need to do is make a beat map is funny. Also, you know, I think there's always a reason for things to be made. Because art, and like I said before, beat maps are art, and sections like that where there's an absence of a note indicated by the spike, it's very meaningful, even if it looks silly. Like, who's gonna let go and get hit by spikes? And it just, I don't know, it feels good to dodge a spike in time with the beats. Like, it's such an interesting feeling. Nice. Nice. I don't really know what the title unlocks, like the requirements. I'm just gaming. I really like have not looked at like the leaderboard stuff. I'm just gaming. I'm just here to play games. And I did change my character here to Quaver, but other than that, I don't really care about the cosmetics. I'm just here press notes. And for most rhythm games, I'm also, not the type to care about what I'm looking at, looking like. So, one of the reasons why I don't like mobile rhythm games that much anymore is because you can get a perfect score and your rank will be D. Perfect score, hit all the notes, 100% accuracy, ranked at D. It's not because you did anything wrong, it's because you didn't have the right characters. You didn't pull, your cards are bad. You didn't train and dump resources and currency into them. At that point, what are we doing? Are we playing a rhythm game, or are we playing a simulator? Like, what's the point? You can literally have perfect score on a song, S rank, double S rank. And it's like, oh yeah, hold this D because you're not using character, you're not pulling on the gacha. You can't be after that. And that's the point of the game, obviously. But it is something that, even if the gameplay is fun, it's like, okay, I get a perfect score, and my response, my feedback is a D, below rank. It's like, all right, well, what's the point of trying to get better at your game and having fun if the system is like not there to support skill expression, right? Like, rhythm games are very skill expression, self-improvement, very, very similar to fighting games. But you don't get feedback in a mobile rhythm game because your skill expression is how well you can pull. I can rant about this all day, but Muse Dash does have a little bit of that, but even if you're like not min-maxing your characters, which have different passives, you can get very high scores that are reflective of how well you play. In a mobile rhythm game, you can't. All I have to say, I do not know what the cosmetic profile stuff you get from doing stuff in arcade mode. I don't know the unlocks. I don't know anything about it. I just want to press the button. I think if a rhythm game is doing all these RPG elements, adding score multipliers based on stuff you pull, equipment, it really can't just be a lane-based rhythm game. It has to be something more like an RPG-based game. It's completely fine, but again, mobile rhythm games are lane-based, and you can press all the notes correctly and get a bad score because you didn't use team comps. Just like that. Like I said, so I don't think I've ever seen somebody else about that. So I don't really interact with rhythm mobile gamers that much. They're too busy talking about the characters they pull, and not maybe an interesting observation. They're too busy talking about the characters they pull and not the actual difficulty of the songs or how well they're doing the songs. But I'm not here to slander mobile game players. I used to be one of them, which maybe is why I have the authority to slander them. And they are very slanderable. Yeah, very easy to slander. Not to their fault, maybe a little bit, but that's how it is. Anyway, love the song. One of my favorites. When I got the album, the main vocal album, the song came out, I was like, damn, it's a really good song. And it's funny because it's not a rock song. It's not one of the higher BPM songs that you would think. It's kind of an indie rock, alternative band setting dealio. But I think that contrast is beautiful. I like contrast. I think the contrast is the songs that don't sound like what you expect are the ones that I'm usually like, yeah, I like this stuff. And it could be the completely other direction as well, when it's like super electro and it's like even louder than you expect. I think that contrast is also like equally as cool, right?
Still she says I don't know.
For the song, press the wrong button. And variety of song. You know, the thing I mentioned with Weeze Dash, variety of song is always great in any rhythm game. Because, you know, you don't want to just hear one kind of music. And it gives the rhythm game dimension as well. Unbeatable, it's also narrative dimension, narrative depth, because, again, story is important in this narrative rhythm game. Such a good part.
Alright, y'all. We're about to hit you with a second part of the next song. You know this one's turn up the present.
Oh, completely bust that up. Nice. I had to lock in just for a second. I think I've done a whole loop. I think I might have looped. Oh, these are the songs that definitely have not listened to.
Gonna change you. As a light through the
The Rift collab. Very cool. Celeste collab, I believe. Whatever, I mean, that just looks like the Celeste character. Stuff I don't even know, but it's there. live version of a song. Cool. This is actually man, there's a lot. The remixes like this, if they're a really good remix, I will play this. I feel like it's I think it's Empty Diary that has some of my favorite remixes. If I'm remembering, you know, I've listened to it on YouTube more than I've played them here, but remixing is so cool. Not the time or place to talk about remix culture or what remixing is, but man, it's like taking the base of a song and transforming it so drastically. I always think back to a remix of a called Cloud Diver from Hoshimiya Toto. It's remixed by the name is blanking on me. Very popular electronic artist that I clearly can't remember, but yeah, that remix, and it's a remix, and it's like so good. Not to say that the original, again, the original songs are good, which is, you know, where the love and passion comes from. I call the remixes, taking these beloved songs and adding a different flavor, different theme. So yeah. I am just chill vibing. Such a cool remix to a song that isn't that much different sound, you know? I feel like the song's coming to an end. Again, there's really no indication, and when I'm not familiar with the song, I can't really feel it out. But based on the pacing, there we go. Very good remix. Very good song. I wonder if I can find the other one. That was not the one I was thinking of. If I find the other remix here. I don't know if there's actual, there probably is actual filtering, but I'm just an idiot who has not, who just like scrolling through. The opening version. You always gotta hit. You always gotta hit one of these ones. The classic. Brain to Feels. How can you not? Brain to Feels, if you know the context. This is not really a spoiler. It's literally the first song you hear in game. First cutscene song, I suppose, but so well utilized because of how they iterate on it, how they give more context to it. If you like callbacks, like Leap Matisse, there you go.
I heard it all again last night. The shimmer in your eyes, the pictures intertwined, like mirrored into
I'm loving this game so much. I can like imagine the background. The very nice. The animated cutscenes, the literally animated cutscenes, even though the game aesthetically is almost one-to-one with the animated cutscenes anyway. But you know, the animated cutscenes are so good. And something that's I think insane is like the game's aesthetic and visual style is consistent not only in pre-rendered animated cutscenes but in game. The game just has, yeah, say what you will with the story, it has the visual stuff all the way down. And you know, undoubtedly. Tear to my eyes every time. Great song. If you know the story. Otherwise, it's just a good song in general. Not part of the album actually. If you are like listening in, this is like in the arcade, but you know, we have the big song, but the big version of that song. But that is of course very big spoilers.
Still, she said.
I just really want to find this one remix I really like. I kind of wish I can navigate this better. Oh wait, no. I think it's just this. Never mind, found it. Oh yeah, it is this. The glass break. Yep. Also a very cool music video. What do you think out there? Vibing a little too much. This is one of the songs where I'm gonna have to lock in with double tapping. Something that might not be intuitive at first. You're like, oh, you can just press the same note more with one finger. Like double tapping is important. And you usually do it clusters like that, like or right there. For that, double tapping, underrated. No, it's not necessarily at all. Not always. Yeah. Great tap. Oh yeah, I am blanking out. Hold on, I'll lock in. Nice. Very crazy part. And to me, just missing the most simple thing because I'm thinking about that part. Classic. I'll take me. I might jinx it. Be passing the song as a victory. First time playing this. While also actively yapping. Alright, I'm putting everything on yapping debuff. That is such a cool way to do that. As I'm thinking about how cool that is, having the blue note come down in time with the cluster. Very fancy mapping. Very, very fancy. Very tricky. Alright, one more song for the road. And then it's game time. I'm not gonna stream tomorrow, but I will be live for the big one. Officially ended on. That's such a fun, just like passing and you just get audio flashbanged. No. These are cool songs, but I think they're cooler. Oh, they're cooler in context. Those songs I passed were cool in context. Alright. But the ending song, the credit song, which, you know, some might say that's spoiler, but it's, you hear this every chapter, at the end of every chapter. Anyways, big stream on Saturday, and then all the pressure of deciding to do a watch, all that pressure is gone. Even though everything's pre-recorded, so I've already done my part, but you know, a responsibility nonetheless. And it'll be a fun time. I think I'm going to just continue doing chill midnight, near midnight jam sessions every once in a while, twice a week, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Mondays and Wednesdays. It's like all every other day type of idea. And we just jam for fun. No real gain in terms of just doing this for fun. Because I can. Because if I'm going to be jamming out anyway, I might as well share the love if they want to watch. The VODs are up. And hopefully, you know, don't just have streaming at such hours that it is an annoyance on your normal scroll feed. Aren't gonna, you know, don't want to tune in. It doesn't matter. You're not gonna see it. Because it'll be unlisted and relisted. So it doesn't really spam your inbox. And it literally just makes it disappear. Or like, it doesn't make it in. I was thinking about that. It's kind of an interesting process. All you have to do is just unlist the VOD, and then it doesn't spam everybody's VOD, which is neat. That the last thing I wanted, and you know, my username popping up, and it's like not a main channel video, it's just a random stream of me chilling. YouTube does not have infrastructure in a way to organize stuff in that way, which is fine. It'd be like that. My one wish is to have folders, video folders, categorize stuff. But anyways, the song is coming to an end. I was gonna sync it well. My last ending note would perfectly synced. I underestimated it. Hold up. And I'll probably alternate in different kinds of arcade style I don't really want to do a narrative game because that's just annoying for people who miss the streams, you know. Anyways, that was a very, very fun stream. About to play one of my favorite rhythm games of recent memory. The tech's working. I'll work on the delay. I'll work on this dumb logo. Maybe I'll just plug my camera in. It will probably fix all my issues. I'll probably run back this exact position. Then yeah, we are going to be live reacting to something I was in and having a great time figuring out the other categories because I literally don't know the other categories. We're not supposed to know other categories. So it's going to be a surprise for everybody. Yeah, a bit. And then, no pressure. I can just stream for fun. These nightly streams. Playing some rhythm games. Listening to some beats. Playing some beats. But yeah,